In this video, we are going to explore what DevOps is and answer exactly how it transforms modern software development so that you can cut through the industry buzzwords and finally understand how to deliver better applications faster without burning out your team. Let's get into it. Here is a quick outline of what we'll cover today. First, the painful, outdated workflow that forced DevOps to exist in the first place. Second, the massive cultural shift required to actually bridge the gap between teams. Third, the specific tools and acronyms that power it, explained in plain English. And finally, the hidden pitfalls where DevOps adoption goes horribly wrong. The broken wall, why software delivery used to be a nightmare. To really understand DevOps, we have to look at the massive frustration that birthed it. Historically, tech companies had two entirely separate teams, development and operations. The developers, or dev, were the creators. Their entire goal was to write code, build new features, and push changes as fast as humanly possible. On the other side of the building, you had IT operations, or ops. Their goal was stability. They managed the servers, kept the websites from crashing, and hated anything that threatened that stability. And what threatens stability? Change, which is exactly what the developers were constantly producing. So developers would finish writing their code, shrug, and proverbially throw it over the wall to operations. Then, when the code inevitably blew up the production server, the developer would say the classic line, "Well, it works on my machine." Meanwhile, the operations guy is getting paged at 3 a.m. on a Saturday to fix a mess he didn't even write. It was a toxic environment full of bottlenecks, missed deadlines, and endless finger pointing. Now, fixing this communication gap is important, but it's only half the battle. Wait until you see how automation completely changes the game in a few minutes. Bridging the gap, the true meaning of DevOps. So, what is the fix? It's right there in the name. DevOps is the literal merging of development and operations. But here's where a lot of people get confused. DevOps is not just a job title, and it is not a specific piece of software you can go buy. It is primarily a culture and a philosophy. It's about breaking down that siloed wall so that dev and ops are no longer enemies, but a single, unified team with a shared goal, delivering high-quality software to the end user quickly and reliably. Under the DevOps philosophy, developers take responsibility for how their code performs in the real world, and operations people get involved early in the design process to make sure the infrastructure can actually handle what's being built. It replaces the not my problem attitude with an our product mindset. So, shared responsibility sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do that without everyone stepping on each other's toes? We're going to cover the exact tools you need next. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to get more valuable content like this. The automation engine, CI/CD, and infrastructure as code. Okay, now let's talk about the heavy machinery. While DevOps is a culture, it relies heavily on automation to actually work. If you've been researching DevOps, you've probably seen the acronym CI/CD. Let's break that down. CI stands for continuous integration. Instead of developers working in isolation for months and praying their code merges together at the end, CI means developers are merging their code into a central repository several times a day. Every time they do, automated tests run instantly to catch bugs before they ever reach a human being. CD stands for continuous deployment or continuous delivery. Once that code is tested and approved, CB automatically pushes it out to the live servers. No more manually dragging and dropping files over an FTP connection while holding your breath. Next, we have IAC, which stands for Infrastructure as Code. In the old days, setting up a server meant an IT guy literally racking hardware or manually clicking through dozens of menus to configure a network. With IAC, you write a simple script that defines your server setup and boom, you can spin up identical environments in seconds. Automating all this is incredibly powerful, but there is a dark side to all this speed. In the next section, I'll reveal why so many companies completely fail when trying to adopt DevOps and how you can avoid it. The dark side. Why DevOps transformations fail. Here's the truth that a lot of vendors don't want to tell you. You can't just buy a subscription to Jira and GitHub, slap the word DevOps on your IT department, and expect miracles. People fail at DevOps because they focus entirely on the shiny new tools and completely ignore the culture. If your company still punishes people harshly for making mistakes, developers will hide their bugs. If your teams still hate communicating with each other, you haven't adopted DevOps. You've just found a way to deploy terrible code faster. We also have to consider security. Moving fast is great, but if you're automatically deploying code without security checks, you are just automating your own data breaches. That's why the industry is now moving towards DevSecOps, which simply means baking security into every step of the process, right from the first line of code. DevOps is hard. It requires unlearning decades of bad corporate habits. All right, let's summarize what we covered today and what this actually means for you. First, we learned that DevOps is the cultural merging of development and operations to break down toxic silos and eliminate the "it works on my machine" syndrome. Second, we covered how it replaces manual, error-prone tasks with relentless automation, specifically using CI/CD pipelines and infrastructure as code. Third, we explored the reality that DevOps fails if it's just treated as a toolkit rather than a fundamental shift in how human beings collaborate. What this means for you is simple. Whether you are a developer, an IT professional, or a project manager, understanding DevOps gives you the power to ship better products with significantly less stress. It means fewer late-night war rooms, fewer weekend rollbacks, and a workflow where you actually get to focus on building cool things instead of putting out fires. If you want to keep learning, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.